Now I always get this request because a lot of people always ask me, "Oh, Hadi, what's your build?" And I'm just sitting there like, the build doesn't make the player for the most part. For the most part, it's about how to utilize the build, and we gonna talk about that just a little bit in this video. But we're not gonna go all in depth talking about what's my build and my statistics and all of that. You can basically just see I got quite a bit of stuff going on. But anyway, let's just go into what the weapons are. So, what I like to do is build up on ferocity. It all depends on what I'm going for. So, if I'm going for like a group fight and we got a group going, then I would go for like a stagger sigil and then hydromancy. Hydromancy is good because it gives you an extra strike and it does damage when you swap your weapon, which you can use to follow up with combos. So I like to use cruelty, but if you want more strikes, you want to add on either air sigil or you can go with leeching. But you always want to have hydro on one of the weapons. So I mainly use great sword as my damaging weapon, and then when I go down to the second swap, my offhand, I like to use axe and shield. Now it depends on what your playstyle is as well. So I like to mainly use axe if I'm doing power damage. If I need to strip some boons, I will use dagger and spellbreaker if you got the elite specialization. And I haven't really played Cold War in a while. It hasn't really been that effective, but if you can make it work, you can make it work. It all depends on your playstyle and what you like to use. So when I use axe, I like to use cleansing because you get that conduit clear. That's 3 right there, and then you get another one with ball of recovery. Then you can also use energy so you can get that extra swap and that extra dodge off. Now my main build is this one right here. Now what I like to use is food that stacks ferocity, okay now? And that's food like this right here. If you can't make ascended food, the next best thing you can do is go for the butternut squash. Now let's see how much that costs. I used to use this food before they added ascended food. Butternut. I love me some butternut. Don't y'all love butternut, boy? I want maybe some goddamn butternut right now. It's a butternut squash soup. So now this gives 100 power and 70 ferocity. So I would say build your warrior or you build around at least trying to get about 60% precision, and then the rest of it you just stack with food like the peppercorn crescent, or you could use the butternut squash. So just try to get as much ferocity as possible because ferocity stacks your crit damage. So as long as you have a high crit damage, you're going to max out your damage. Now let's go about the build. Now, like I said before, maxing out ferocity. So you go with Axe Mastery because of course you're going to be running Axe. And then I like to use Pierce Strike, even though Spellbreaker isn't really that good at keeping boons off of the player as much as possible as it should be. But you can still use Pierce Strike and get that extra little crit damage. So that's at least how I can try to stretch my damage just a little bit, but that's just as far as I go. And these other two traits, just really for fun, really, I don't really know. I mean, if you run a dagger, you can run Sun and Moon, but loss aversion, I don't really see this as being too much. The drilling is too low. The damage says 1. It doesn't do that much damage. They really done messed up that trait, so it's really sort of trash. And Mage Blade Tether is just for getting that reveal off, or that extra little pause, or just for stacking might, whichever one do. Now, it depends on how I want to play. So, if I'm in a group, I like to run Brawl Berserker's Power. Now, I say that because you do extra damage depending on, when you hit your burst skill off. Now, if you're looking for more survivability like dodges and everything, because Mage Bane Tether works great with Might Makes Right. And then, of course, I like to run this heal, mending, and everything because it synergizes with uh, peak performance. Alright, now, I like to run Doyak over last, what's that trait called? There we go, balance stance, because first of all, balance stance only lasts for 4 seconds. It pauses stability for like 1 second. What am I gonna do with 1 damn second of stability? As soon as I hit the damn button, it's already already gone. So this shit is basically useless. Don't use this shit ever in your life unless you're a fucking moron and you don't know how to play. So I like to use Doyak because the stability lasts longer and you get a little bit of toughness. I don't really like to stack on toughness, but the main focus was to get more stability. Um, and this is mainly just for CC since all your CCs does one damage, and Shake It Off is just for a Conde clear and extra breaks done. Rampage is basically, I mainly use this for the CC. I don't use Rampage for damage. I mainly use it for CC or the damage reduction. If you see here, it says 50% damage reduction. So if you need to buy yourself some time, you got a couple of skills on cooldown, you want to use Rampage to at least defend yourself for a little while. And also, Rampage gets that reduced cooldown because it's a physical skill and all that. So I'm going to show y'all a video real quick and how we use this, and I'm going to break it down to you, and let's do that. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like these the best players in the game. The main focus of this is to show you how to utilize these combos and dish out a lot of damage. Now, if you're already in the fight and you see someone running up, don't hesitate. You always want to keep you cool. So if you see somebody running up, make sure you finish the guy you was already working on. The main trick of this is to try to split them up, alright now? So you don't want them to be bunched up and close together. So try to get both of the targets to move away from each other, which gives you more time to breathe and do an extra bit of damage on the guy you was working on. Is that really a decision you want to make, ma'am? Alright now, get your little ass over in this water. You thought I was done with you? Oh, you done made me put on the cow boots now, girl. Oh, you done brought out the Wrangler. You really think you gonna get away from me? It's just me and you down here, girl. Where you trying to run to? You so tough with your Zerg. Now your Zerg ain't here no more, baby girl.